Hi artists! Today we're going to draw some warm and cool cities. So you do need a piece of paper and a pencil and some crayons. Let's first put our name and class code on the back of the paper. Now, I am going to put my paper so that it is horizontal, so it's wide, not tall. You could make it tall if you'd like to. I just want to make my city wider. So either way is really fine. This is just how I'm choosing to start my city. I'm going to start with some vertical lines. It's a good idea to have these be sort of like different heights so that our city is more interesting. Okay, so if you have a ruler and you can use a ruler to make those lines, that would be awesome. Otherwise, I'm going to wing it. So I have my 3 verticals. Now we're going to turn our vertical lines into arrows, okay? So what I'm going to do is draw kind of like an upside down V, a wide V on top of each of those lines. Okay, so pause the video and catch up with me now. All right, so you have your 3 arrows. We're going to turn these into buildings. So this first vertical line that we drew is the corner of each building. We're going to find the 2 edges of the arrow that we just drew, and we're going to draw another vertical on each side of this center vertical. For me, my hand moves easiest this way. So I'm going to turn my paper so my arrows are going that direction, and I am going to draw a straight line from this corner down to the bottom. For me, my hand just moves better this way. That's why I turned my paper. Okay, so what we're going to end up with are these 3 vertical lines that show the sides of the building and then this corner that's closest to us. So I am going to finish mine. You can see I've missed a couple times and I'm just cleaning up where my angles were a little off. All right, so go ahead and pause the video and add yours now. All right, welcome back artists. When I'm looking at my picture, I'm noticing that my center line is like very wavy, so I'm just gonna fix that. I must have been drawing my lines a little straighter as I practiced. So I'm going to just try one more time, straighten out that building a little. We don't want our buildings falling down. Okay, so we have our 3 buildings. Now, I am going to add a couple more buildings sort of in front of where these buildings are. So if something is in front of something else, then there is overlapping. So maybe I'll just do one right here that's going to overlap. So this is going to be a new corner of a building. So that will be a center of a building. I'm going to add my upside down V on top. And then my 2 lines coming down. I'm going to use a Sharpie just to show you the lines I just did. So I'm just tracing over what I just did just to show you what we need to get rid of. Okay, so you can see if this building that is outlined in Sharpie is in front, if this is closer to us, then we're not going to see these lines from our other buildings because they're behind it. So let's get rid of those. I'm going to erase that. If you want to keep adding more buildings, just remember if you're putting something in front, if you're showing overlapping, then you do need to erase the lines that are behind this shape. Let's do one more over here. So to build a building, we start with the center. We add the upside down V on top. And then we draw the 2 verticals down. So for this one, I have a couple more I need to erase from our other buildings. Okay, so I have this great city. I'm going to have you pause and make sure you have all the buildings that you want in your city. All right, welcome back. Let's add a sun or moon in the sky. I could put it right in the center, but I want to do something with all this open space over here. So I'm going to draw a circle. We're going to draw some concentric circles, which are circles inside of circles inside of circles inside of circles. So start with a small one, and then this next one is going to grow bigger and bigger and bigger, kind of like a bullseye. Oops, that one's a little bit weird. Let's fix that. So as the lines get bigger, some of the line is behind, so we're doing more overlapping. So you can see I didn't connect every single one here. I'm just kind of pretending. All right, pause the video, go ahead and catch up with your sky. Another thing I wanted to mention that if you'd like to, maybe you want to turn this into a moon. So I'm going to sort of just carve out a little curve shape, and then maybe even you could add some stars, make this more of a nighttime scene, which you could make it night or day, that's up to you. So now we have our sky, we have our buildings, we need to add windows. We're going to add some windows on the sides of our buildings. The trick about windows, if I'm making windows on this side of the building, I need to look at the top angle to know how to draw my windows. We can't draw our windows just square like that. That would not be right. That's not going to be the way we want to do it. We want to look at this and sort of draw our lines sort of the same type of angle as whatever the top angle looks like. So this one's kind of going down to the left. So I'm going to draw some lines that go down to the left to add windows over here. Now this side is going to look different than this side. This side, the line's going down towards the right. So for that, I'm going to draw some lines that go down towards the right to add windows over here. So when you're adding windows to your buildings, just look at the top of the building, and then that will show you which way you want your windows to face. All right, I'm going to finish mine. You go ahead and do yours, and then pause the video. All right, welcome back, artists. I am happy with all of the way that my buildings look. If you have a Sharpie marker and would like to Sharpie and trace your designs, now would be the time you want to do that. I am going to just do the one, and I'm going to actually pause you guys for a second, and I'll do mine, and then we'll catch back up. Hello again, artists. As you can see, I've finished sharpening all of my lines. I'm going to make sure I come back in and erase anywhere there's any pencil that's still showing. And now we are going to make some color families. So I'm going to choose some warm colors. Warms are reds and pinks and yellows and oranges. And then I'm going to choose some cool colors like purples and blues and greens. I am using crayons to color in. All right, these are the color families that I have created. Let's see if I can find one more sort of violet red. I'm going to get rid of light pink. So I have cool colors and I have warm colors. Now, you're going to choose warm or cool for your sky. So for me, because I did a night sky, I'm going to choose to use cool colors for my night sky. You could also do warm colors, but we're going to do the sky a color family and then the buildings a different color family. So warm and cool will be in like different spots. So since I've chosen cool, I'm just going to carefully start to color in these shapes, making sure that I'm taking my time and getting that white space covered with my cool sky. I do want to show you that just because you are using these color families doesn't mean that you can't sort of overlap them. So I'm going to overlap sort of around the outside of this shape, and overlap by putting this lighter, I don't know, I guess it's kind of turquoise. What's it called? Let's see. Blue-green on top of that violet. So just sort of on the outer edge and then very lightly coloring the rest so I have a little bit of value in my sky. Some lights and darks. All right, so I like that. I like how that overlaps. I am going to pause my video and finish coloring in my sky with cool colors. And then my buildings I'm going to do with my warm colors. Hello again, artists. I want to show you my completed warm and cool cityscape. You can see I've blended color a little bit with my background. So I used cool colors in my background and I layered and overlapped colors within these spaces. For my buildings, I did use different pressure to create different values. With crayons, that's really fun to do that if you push a little bit harder. So like I chose to push a little harder at the tops of my building and then get lighter and lighter as I go towards the bottom. So then I have a little bit of a darker top of the building and lighter at the bottom. That's how I chose to finish it. The last thing I'm going to do, I think I'm going to break the rule just a little bit, and I'm going to use a warm color on my moon, which of course I used cool colors in my sky, but I thought that would be a nice way to tie it all together. So there are our warm and cool cities. Good luck creating, artists.